everyone, welcome back to Nello Farms Kitchen. Today I've got a mouth-watering, easy dinner recipe for you. Sweet and spicy barbecue chicken with mashed potatoes and string beans, all made in a crock pot. It's super simple, full of flavor, and perfect for a busy day when you just want to set it and forget it. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the ingredients you'll need. Are you a fan of barbecue chicken? I know my family is obsessed with it. Here's what we'll be using. I'm using boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You can also use chicken thighs if you prefer dark meat, but chicken breasts are always our go-to for me. Do you usually use breast or thighs in your crockpot recipe? Or maybe both? I'm using 2 bottles of sweet and spicy barbecue sauce. The sweet flavor with a little kick of heat is perfect for the dish. What is your favorite barbecue sauce flavor? Do you like spicier or are you more on the sweeter side? I use a generous amount of Italian seasoning in this recipe. It adds a little herby flavor that mixes perfectly with the barbecue sauce. Do you like to experiment with seasoning, or do you prefer to stick with the few basics? I love using coconut brown sugar because it's a healthier alternative to the regular sugar. It has a lower glycemic index and is a great option if you're trying to cut back on regular sugar. Have you ever used coconut sugar in your cooking before? What's your go-to sweetener? The recipe calls for Worcestershire sauce. I can never say that right, but I didn't have any today, so I used balsamic vinegar. It adds a tangy depth of flavor. Do you prefer the Worcestershire sauce? I still can't say it. Or a balsamic vinegar for the cooking? Or do you have another favorite substitute? For the mashed potatoes, you'll need potatoes. I'm using about 12 today. Butter, half and half, and seasoning, like salt and pepper. Do you like your mashed potatoes super creamy, or do you prefer them with a little bit more texture? The last thing that we're going to cook is the string beans. That's our last ingredients for our plate. To complete the overall meal, we'll be adding string beans to the side with a bit of crunchiness. Do you have like a favorite veggie to serve with barbecue chicken? I'm always looking for new ideas. All right, let's get cooking. The first thing we need to do is start with the potato peeling. That's the thing that takes the longest to do. How do you feel about peeling potatoes? Do you mind it, or do you prefer someone else to do it? I know I'm always happy when I have a helper. Today my little one is helping me out. We sometimes do 12 potatoes. How many potatoes do you guys usually do? 12 potatoes is usually enough for my family, but you can feel free to adjust it based on how many people you're serving. While the potatoes are being peeled, I'll go ahead and wash the chicken. We like to just rinse it with cold water. You could comment down below what's your method of cooking chicken or washing chicken. I would love to see it in the comments so I can maybe try the way that you do it. But I like to rinse mine with cold water before putting it into the crock pot. Once that's done, I place the chicken breast directly into the crock pot. But you want to make sure that you don't stack them on top of each other, because if you do, then they might not cook evenly. If you give them space, then they should cook evenly or more evenly. How many people are you cooking for today? For us, 1 chicken breast per person is perfect. You can always add more if you need to, but you might need a bigger crock pot to do it. Next, I'm adding the Italian seasoning. And as you can see, I'm not shy with it. I use quite a bit so I can get that flavor of the Italian seasoning. Do you use a lot of seasoning when you cook, or are you more conservative with it, with just like maybe salt and pepper? After the Italian seasoning, I'm adding the coconut brown sugar. I love the richness it brings, and it's a healthier alternative to regular sugar. Have you ever used any other kind of sweetener for yours? For me, I like to use the coconut brown sugar in everything that calls for sugar, basically. It sweetens it, and it's a healthier alternative. I'll put some facts down below in the description so you can see the difference between using coconut sugar and regular sugar. The next thing that I'm going to do is add the barbecue sauce. 2 bottles of sweet and spicy. The sweet barbecue sauce mixed with the spicy kick is so good. Finally, I'm using balsamic vinegar. Since I didn't have the Worcestershire sauce, I don't think I'll ever say that right. And it worked perfectly. Do you ever improvise in your recipes like that? I think that it's fun to experiment to see the different types of flavors. I use balsamic vinegar a lot in my salads, and if I could just buy that instead of the other sauce, then it will be better for my pockets, because I love things that you can use for multiple things. And being able to use the balsamic vinegar if I could do that for a lot of my recipes, that would be awesome. Once all the ingredients are in, I mix everything up well so that the chicken is coated in the sweet and spicy goodness. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more recipes like this one. Your support means the world to me and it helps me keep bringing these awesome recipes to you. Now I'm going to set the crock pot on high for 3 to 4 hours. This will give us plenty of time to cook the chicken to perfection. While that's cooking, let's get back to the potatoes. Peeling potatoes isn't my favorite task. I really think I should find a different way. I'm sure there's like some kind of electric peeler or something. How do you feel about peeling potatoes? Do you have any tricks to make it easier? If you do, tell me in the comments down below and I'll look it up and see if maybe I can do it, because this is the task that takes the longest for me. Once the potatoes are peeled, I'll cut them into small cubes. The smaller the pieces, the faster they cook. After 3 hours, I check the chicken and it looks absolutely perfect. It's nice and tender, falling apart with just a little pull from 2 forks. Do you usually shred it or do you prefer your chicken whole? I love to shred my chicken. Shredding chicken works great in so many different meals like tacos, wraps, sandwiches. My kids really like it, so anytime that I make chicken like this, I make sure to shred it. When I check on the potatoes, they're not cooking quite as quickly as I'd hoped. This crock pot has a locked function, but unfortunately it broke off. So I decided to move the potatoes to the stove to speed up the process. I kind of like it when things like this happen because it shows me a different way that I can cook. I would have loved to finish it in the crock pot. Would I get a different crock pot, or I'll use the one that I put the chicken in, and maybe I'll try to do a recipe where I just do the potatoes and see how it works in the crock pot. It looks like it was going pretty well, but I think the steam and the heat was escaping because it's meant to be locked and I couldn't lock it. But next time I'm definitely starting my potatoes earlier in the day to avoid this delay. It'll save me some stress for sure. How do you usually manage cooking time when you're juggling multiple parts of a meal? And here it is, the final product. The chicken is perfectly cooked and so tender. The barbecue sauce has caramelized beautifully and the shredded chicken is ready to be enjoyed. The mashed potatoes are creamy, buttery, and delicious. The string beans add the perfect fresh, crunchy contrast to the rich, tender chicken and creamy potatoes. What's your favorite veggie to pair with barbecue chicken? I absolutely love how the flavors work together in this meal. The sweet and spicy chicken paired with the creamy mashed potatoes is a flavor combo that can't be beat. Have you ever tried combining barbecue chicken with mashed potatoes before? If not, I definitely recommend it. It's a game changer. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and family. It helps me a ton and lets me know you want to see more delicious recipes like this. Let me know in the comments how your version of this dish turned out. Did you make any adjustments or add extra ingredients? I love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, happy cooking and I'll see you soon.
I don't have a potato masher, so this is what it's looking like now. Yes, my family will eat by the time it's midnight. I don't know, but this is the dilemma that we're having right now.